I stay with the heat even though I'm a sad boy. You better watch the way you breathe around me for that breath be your last boy. I've been drinking red, boy. I've been chopping down these birds, McCoy. No, I made my rich in really 9 months. Overseas, honey skin. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna talk like I haven't done in a while. Tell you guys something. First off, the Uchiha series that is coming up right after I finish this, which will be very soon, as this series only has 4 parts, just enough to cover the calling games and basically everything I want to. I'm not really trying to stretch this shit out. Everything's gonna come and go, and it's gonna be the same thing but different, as I'm actually going to go into the calling games and like towards the fight with Sukuna and all that stuff, just fun for you guys. Second, the Gilgamesh story. I'm doing the gold movie for y'all, but again, y'all not gonna like it as much as you thought you would. Like, there is no stakes. How do you think that Gil Tesoro can do shit to someone who kicked Kaido using only physical strength to the sky while he was in his dragon form? I don't know what you guys are gonna enjoy about this, but I'm gonna try my best. Go back, see some details, add in more fun, maybe like explore a little bit of the gambling they do. It's gonna be annoying as hell, but hey, I like the movie, so I'll do it. Something else, someone asked me about Yuji's special ability. I'm not giving him Mahoraga's special ability. That's a horrible idea. No offense. You can't just copy ideas and just add on to other people. If you take ideas from other characters and add it on and put a spin on it, or use reincarnations as a prospect like I do, that's fine. But if you're in the same universe and you try to use that idea on another character, it becomes boring and it's basically just you stealing it, which makes the character extremely weak because it's just a copy of another character. So I'm not gonna do that. I made up my own ability that I searched up very fast, found a way to make it extremely confusing yet have it make sense the same way that Gege does. You're gonna love it. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this, and let's go. Junpei strolls up to the grave of his mother. Awaiting for him outside of the cemetery by Ichiji's car, Yuji and Nanami watch him whimper, blame himself. And Yuji asked Nanami if he thought that Junpei would ever stop blaming himself and forgive himself. He might. He may be stuck in a hole of despair forever. Who knows? I understand why he did what he did, said Yuji, but he let his pride and anger blind him to the curse of humanity of all things. It was still his choice in the end. You are a high schooler, yes. Of course I am. I mean, as much as you are an upfront businessman, sensei. You don't have to call me that, Yuji. Then Nanamin, that's worse. Nanamin it is. Yuji soon returns to school, and when he does, he's left confused and angered, not elated or anything. Who was it? Those bruises. They aren't from a curse. He sees Megumi a bit beat up with a few bandages. For context, Megumi was taking him to where everyone else was training after he came back, but Yuji didn't care about that right now. Tell me, I'll crush their skull in. You never know, I could have started the fight. Please, you? You're right. Teach him a lesson for me. Of course I will. So what's got you so bothered, other than me having all these stitches? So I'm officially a first grade sorcerer. Congrats. Did something happen? I couldn't exorcise the curse. It ran away. It was stronger than most special grades. It could protect its soul. Physical damage meant nothing. He jammed my shoulder with a massive spike. How are you alive right now? Anger? That doesn't explain it. I mean, Shoko Senpai obviously healed you, right? No, I healed myself. His classmate is a bit surprised, as Yuji then tells him that he's been figuring out how to, and with the Sharingan it's very easy because he's been doing it his entire life. I'm working on a way for everyone else to use it, a pseudo way. That's not really possible. No, not reverse curse technique, my bad. But maybe a medical pill, something else, I don't know. Well, good luck with that. Thanks, I'm gonna go pitch it right now. Like, right now? Yep, I'll meet up with you guys later. He would then run off, taking a detour to Shoko's office, and upon entering after a knock, Shoko would then swivel in her chair to meet him. What's wrong, Yuji? I have an idea, and I think you're the only one who can help me. Take a seat. Yuji then walks forward, shutting the door close, and days would pass, and then the day arrived where the students gathered for the exchange. As the teachers arrived themselves, they informed them of something that Shoko and Yuji have created. So each of you take one, said Utahime. She passed them out, and Momo asked, so this is gonna simulate reverse curse technique? I mean, that'd be awesome, but no, says Yuji. It doesn't simulate it. Reverse curse technique is just produced by cursed energy reversed. This pill needs to digest into your system. Then you need to take 4 of these signs, he shows them, and then they'll activate your body's natural healing capabilities. When it has nothing else to use, then it'll take some of your energy, meaning that it can burn you out. With a snap, Todo then says, it accelerates the duplication of cells, huh? Yeah, actually, how did you? It's not a matter of if it will. It will. Me and your Shoko senpai just want to know how it goes. Where does he find the time? Thought Kyoto's class. On the other hand, the creation of such a pill is amazing and will give an advantage to many sorcerers. So, like, they're not complaining or anything. Don't eat it too much. Like I said, it'll mostly be using your own body to heal you, so you might pass out if you go too far, said Yuji. Got it. Sounds simple enough. Alright then, I'll explain the rules, said Yaga. Cutting right along to the next scene, we find that the Tokyo team has left Yuji alone to chase Todo. The event has begun, and because he can sense it with the Sharingan, it's not much work, and they end up intercepting each other after a long while of running. Don't disappoint me first year. Yeah, you talk too much. No longer seeing Yuji perform, Todo is then put in a chokehold from behind as he falls to one knee. Yuji's grip tightens when Todo then claps and Yuji takes Todo's place, and he ducks just as his hands touch the floor, and he pushes and aims for Todo, who sways back. Yuji then lands and begins to encircle Todo, who does the same. They keep their eyes on each other before then rushing and getting in close. With each exchange, however, Yuji would take the advantage quickly, and then he chops Todo in the stomach and in the neck, and then he slams a kick into Todo's leg, making him spin about, and as he's about to hit his head, he claps. Yuji, however, expected this and catches himself quite easily again and then spins with his feet. Todo catches the attack but is then electrocuted by lightning. It forces him to let go, and Yuji gets to his feet before riddling him with multiple blows and then going for another. His body is much more powerful than mine. His cursed energy control. Immaculate, but just what is his technique? Otahime said he's like Okotsu. Yuji finds Todo impressive as well. I thought he was some idiot, but he's countering the blows that matter with cursed energy reinforcement at the right time. He's dangerous. At this point, they push each other back before then lunging back with all their power when suddenly they freeze, looking to their right. Barging into their fight, a curse makes itself known as it crawls forward, but it barely makes a sound. Special great curse. This thought ran through both their minds as the curse shows itself. Almost instantly, it would then explode to a mass of snakes, which would take out an entire neighborhood if it wanted to. Their size also matches that of a massive python with each like serpent. But in seconds, Yuji weaves and fires from his mouth a massive water dragon, which snarls and bites down, ravaging through them. And upon reaching the curses, it crushes everything, leaving behind the forest flattened. Nothing else is there now. I'm going a little bit far. That reaction speed is incredible. First year, what type of girl are you like? Huh? This same issue occurs for Megumi and Noritoshi as they clash. They look to the roof of a building, and approaching them is a horde of these white birds that would detonate, making them run for their lives. Riding along in this disaster, the main curse looks quite ecstatic. It also has a humanoid form, and it smiles. Yes, this is art. The building collapsed, and running to meet them, Inumaki along with Megumi and Noritoshi then see a veil fall upon the entire area. Just what is going on? Riding in above them, the curse then jumps down wearing a black cloak along with the hood which hides his face. Bring it on, humans. Ripping open a packet of blood, Noritoshi combo fires all of it forward, and the curse does get scratched even though it tries to dodge. Don't move! As Toge yells this, the curse is then frozen in the steps, and just then Megumi summons Kon, which lunges forward and claws at the curse, who breaks free and strikes at Kon, and then it dodges and tumbles until it stops itself. By that point, however, the others are attacked again by multiple of these birds, and this is when Numaki tells it to stop, but this time they don't. I got earplugs in now, idiot. Holding his hand forward, he would then show a mouth, which then releases chains that he then grabs back, pulls, and then swings forward, snapping it with intensity, and it grabs a hold of them, wrapping around, and they are sent tumbling off the roof they're on, and then crashing. Megumi then asks, freaking clay? Whoa, As he weaves the claws of Kon over and over, Megumi then tells us to stop right now. It can detonate its creations. The moment you move again, we might die. The Shigami snarls with anger, and unable to help its master, it is taken back to the shadows, and the chains would tighten. They wince in pain. Deidara then begins to encircle them. This curse is a part of Kenjaku's arsenal, a bizarre case of a curse strong enough to gain sentience, to gain a personality. And as the curse which manifests the concept of art and the emotions of artists, it is quite a wild card. So, what to do with you, huh, dark-haired boy? Don't think of me as a bad guy. I mean, my hands are tied. Ha! Get it? Yeah. Before he knows, the curse now stands in what he first assumes is a red room. However, below him is water, an ocean, an endless ocean stretching out. He looks up. The sky is filled with a bright red. And then, across from him, there's a boy who then instantly appears right before him, grabbing his face and forcing him out into the real world. He finds himself in air and is thrown into the forest behind. The others, having been freed by Todo, will then run off and leave this to the first grades. Yuji, while he flies through the air, however, finds clay birds converging onto him. Cuts! With this command, they detonate onto one another, building up more and more destruction, which should have killed Yuji. However, he falls to the smoke with only a few bruises. I can tell you're gonna be a pain, he said. He would then blitz the curse and strike it across the face as he lands, as he pushes himself with wind using one of his main jutsus. His hood is then blown off, showing an all-white creature with no facial features except for a mouth. Deidara is then sent crashing into a tree as Yuji takes notice of how weak it is physically compared to other cursed spirits in special grade category, at least relative to himself, obviously. However, his body is made of clay and naturally softens the impact even when Yuji's punches still hurt. And as he gets up, he creates a bow this time, firing arrow after arrow, which detonates while he would then jump into the trees himself. But Yuji would then weave each one and land on the branch. Quickly, he then gets behind the curse with a chop, however. Cookson. Not even aiming for a maybe, Yuji lands a critical hit on purpose by using his Sharingan to perfectly mimic what he could have only done before in small bits. This splits the curse in two and exercises it on the spot, and he would then land and run out of the forest to meet Todo. Brother, you're okay. Anyone ever tell you you're kind of bizarre? Multiple times, but it doesn't change our brotherhood. Sure, but more curses were released in here. We need to go help everyone. They agree on this at least, even though Todo is a bit standoffish, and running off together, they face against a few grade 1 curses, grade 2s, like one extra special grade, but this was all a diversion, a way for Mahito to have no issues while he picks up a few things from the Star Tomb. Well, this sucks, said Kugisaki. All gathered in one room, the students previously butting heads now can all agree this tournament was ruined and they wanted to do way more. Off in a corner, their senseis discuss what should happen next, and they come to a compromise. Hoisting up a box holding lots in front of Yuji, Yaga says that he should get the pick. You're the MVP this time around. Oh, alright. He sticks his hand in and shuffles around, but what he pulls out is quite annoying. What? That wasn't one of the options? Satoru! As they look back, the mischievous man is gone and they now have to play baseball. But Yuji would then quickly run out at this point to meet Gojo as he then shouts, Sensei! As he stops in his tracks, Gojo would then turn and Yuji says, I'll be bothering you a lot more from now on. How are you now? Bring it on. Yuji Uchiha, was it? Asked Kenjaku. Now we are residing within a unspecified space, what looks like a beach, but really isn't. The curses and Kenjaku are having a meeting right now. What are the chances of Yuji Uchiha ruining our plans? Not very high. He will grow very powerful. That's just what his clan is all about. Just who the hell are the Uchiha, shouts Joko. I mean, you didn't mention this in your plan or who Sukuna's vessel even is gonna be. I have that figured out. The king will make an entrance, only for a few minutes, long enough to cause some mayhem. And as for the Uchiha clan, there's no need to worry. They're a lost group of people. Yuji is the last of his kind, and they don't live very long. It's their fate. What's that mean? Asked Mahito. I mean, that guy was full of life. His soul was, I don't know, different. Uchihas from the very days they're born gain a binding vow. Their Sharingan designate power based on how many tomoe they gain, and it is powered by emotion, loss, betrayal, death of someone close, stuff like that. And with each ascension, they become more powerful, more dangerous, and soon they can even copy curse techniques, but not just copy, innovate, change, but it comes at a price. Their eyes drain them, and pretty soon they lose all vision and die. Aw, I mean, he's on the clock. He didn't really seem worried about that though, said Mahito. Who knows? He may have something in store for us yet, but at most, he will be performing a kamikaze. That is the curse of the Uchiha. And why does he have multiple techniques? Asked Mahito. Well, out of all clans, even in the golden age of sorcery, they alone use true sorcery, integrating hand signs with finer control than any other group. Most sorcerers abbreviate their techniques. They never do. Water, earth, lightning, fire, wind, all basic elements of nature are at their command. It's a shame I never got to talk to them. What did you try to do? I mean, did you at least enter, like, their premises? No, I tried to talk to one of them and they almost cut my head off. Ha! Classic, said Mahito. Just then, in walks Choso and he opens up a path into the space, absolutely livid. My brothers. They're dead, said Yuji. His fist burns from the blood on contact as he looks at the body of the dead brothers right before him. For him, it's Eso, and Kugisaki had just killed Kichizu. As he weaves signs, Yuji would then spew flames, which begin to burn its body to nothing, and Kugisaki would then approach, taking a pill as her flesh begins to heal. Man, these things are a lifesaver. Let's hurry back to Fushiguro, alright? Both agree and run back down to the cave when they see him snoring while curled up. Aw, what an annoying little shit. He must have taken the curse spell and be a finger bearer. As he notices the finger of Roman Sukuna in his hands, he picks it out and Kugisaki is shocked. Wait, seriously? Yuji takes the scroll out and sets it down as he begins to seal the finger. Yeah, I mean, why are you so surprised? Ugh, I'm falling behind, damn it. I had to stake my life for that weakling. Do you want me to teach you a jutsu then? Is it safe? As he finishes the seal, Yuji then rolls back up the scroll, and in the process of putting it away, he says the Uchihas aren't the only ones capable of using multiple jutsus. They're just more easily predisposed to it? Yeah, predisposed. Anyone else would need years to just learn one jutsu. It's just that hard for everyone else, but the Uchihas are just better at it, like innately. But at most, I would just need to seal a mark right there. He would tap her forehead, and he says, no, I've never actually done this before, though. So you're going to be my guinea pig. I'm what? Don't worry, you're not going to die. You might be in pain for a while, though. God, you... Just... Fine, I'll trust you. I don't ever want to feel this way. Good. He would then pick up Megumi, and the two begin to walk off, and soon hear a shot from Nita atop the bridge. You guys okay? Yeah, we're fine. We're just tired. I ordered pizza. You guys just relax. Good job, you three. And so they return to Jujutsu Tech. There, Yuji begins to mark the seal on Kugisaki. It is extremely strenuous for him though, as he cannot make any sudden movements or he may have to restart. Again, he's literally never done this before. It is a theory. But soon, he finishes and is left drenched in sweat as he falls to the floor in his room. Okay. You can open your eyes now. As she slowly does, we see a multitude of seals on her head sink into her very skin. Ah, oh yeah, that's uncomfortable. I have a huge migraine right now, like everywhere. That's the technique being engraved into your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain which holds techniques. Like I said, I don't know what you'll get, but you'll definitely get stronger. You just need to keep fighting. And if nothing happens, that'll be fine. You'll have me and Fushiguro. October 31st, night of Halloween. A veil erects over Shibuya department store with a radius of 400 meters. 3 teams have been made and are stationed outside of the veil, into which Satoru Gojo is being urged to enter. Yuji, for example, is with Mei Mei and Ui Ui, and for simplicity, I'll be calling them Mei and Ui because I'm not saying that shit twice. The 3 begin to head to Jinmei Jingu-mei station. I hope I got that right. And along the way, Mei notices that Yuji is holding back on speed for she and her brother. You can go on ahead, kid. As he looks back, he asks, are you sure? I trust your judgment. I mean, anyone Nanami praises is worth trusting. Nanami praised me? I won't let you down. In a flash, the boy disappears, landing parallel to a 19th floor on a skyscraper, like in an instant. The view is way better from here. With these words, he disappears again, and Ui asks, he's first grade, huh? For now, I mean, that raw speed and strength without cursed energy. It's just like him. She's reminded of the legend of Toji Fushiguro, and honestly right now, Yuji is kind of acting like him. However, though Yuji may look to be in perfect shape right now, he is currently in some pain. His eyes are actually having a bit of trouble, because he is so adept with the Sharingan, it affects him much more, and the effects of the binding valve caught up with him much faster than most people. He can no longer restrict the use of the Mangekyo anymore, and it would have destroyed him, but Yuji worked the theory. Well, he and his grandpa did, which is why he asked him to do that procedure at the first part. The eyes he's currently using aren't his own, but his grandpa's. In their world, this has never been discovered before, so he had Shoko transplant those eyes into his sockets with the help of the reverse curse technique and the Uchiha's insane healing factor to make it far easier. He now has a clock running until he sees what this will bring. No Uchiha had ever done this, like I said, in this world, like ever, but Yuji thought it could work, so him and his grandpa worked around it. To be a sorcerer is to gamble, and if the eyes didn't work, he would just be stuck with the same accelerator clock. But maybe it'd be worse because they're from an old man. But if their theory comes true, something amazing will happen. If I die, then it will have been my fate. And if I succeed, then Uchihas will have a new world of possibilities. As he thought this to himself, he lands before the station and catches the attention of a waiting manager. Oh, Mr. Uchiha. As he approaches though, Yuji bows, saying that he's only 15. You can just call me Yuji, miss. Oh, okay. Follow me, we've uncovered some things. Together they head down and Yuji is filled in. Multiple veils have been erected on top of one another, and at the lowest level of these many veils reside some transfigured humans. Yuji's face instantly hardens. It's him. I get the general idea. Leave the rest to me. With the sign, Yuji summons to his side 2 clones. While this would have been hard before, he's using the Mangekyo. Though they're probably going to kill him, in theory, his full latent positive energy has begun to awaken. He's stronger than ever. He just has a clock on right now. And the clones are a replication of oneself after all. So the power to create life in a sense, positive energy, you get I'm going with this. And usually all Uchihas are able to use these clones, and they only learn it at a certain point. But if you're able to learn this very easily, you are destined for great power one day. Hence him learning reverse curse technique at 15, which is like pretty crazy. The clones instantly understand, don't need to listen to anything from Yuji, and just disappear. And Yuji himself heads down to the train tracks. You can go back, I'll handle this. Thank you. As she runs off, Yuji will then move through the station, and soon his clones dispel the curtains keeping him out, so he beats some transfigured humans and makes the route to the train stop. And there, he says, it's gone. He jumps down to the tracks. The train is no longer there, and he doesn't see why the train will be moving at all. Like, people should be in a panic right now, so it's bizarre. But he continues his way through the darkness until he reaches a light, and as it flickers, Yuji feels something and swings, grabbing from the air an object. Who are you? He looks at his palm and sees an earpiece that had just fallen from the ceiling. I am not your enemy, remember me? Mikamaru from Kyoto Exchange? The mole, yeah. You're dead, aren't you? How did you know? Just a guess, but your curse technique is pretty cool. Why did you need to do this? Because you have to believe me when I tell you this, alright? Gojo Satoru has been sealed. What? That's real funny. I'm not lying. Give me a reason that I should believe you. I don't have any actual evidence, but I wouldn't put a contingency into this at all unless it was serious. There's a reason why I approached you specifically. You can't be a mole like me. Though you've always been a sorcerer, you only joined Jujutsu Society recently. You don't know that. Yes, but there is a curse user heading your way right now. This place is being supervised by the higher-ups, isn't it? So why is one of them here? That is suspicious. Alright, fine. He puts the earpiece on and turns to face the sorcerer as he arrives with a cursed dog-looking thing. I really don't know what the hell that thing is. However, his confident smile instantly drops as Yuji takes 1 step forward. His cursed energy turns blood red in that instant. The cursed user feels almost sucked in and falls forward as Yuji walks past him and with a kick beheads his strange dog. I believe you. He runs at a 10 speed and along the way texts Mei what he just discovered. Sealed? That guy? She thought. What is it, big sister? An opportunity, perhaps. She then receives another text, which tells her to stay at Jinmei Jingume and intercept, what the fuck is wrong with me, anyone who may come to Shibuya since they're connected, and the only track between them is the one that Yuji just ran out of. Yuji meanwhile runs and quickly reaches the veil over Shibuya, the actual Shibuya. Be careful, you may encounter many transfigure. I know. I have a simple measure for that. As he enters past the veil, what he sees is panic, normies being attacked and transfigured humans going rabid. In a flash, however, Yuji pummels each and every one before the people can even think, blink even, and sends all the cursed, I guess in this case, cursed humans. It's the same thing as transfigured humans. He sends them to their graves, and it's very straightforward, which Mekamaru points out, but Yuji says, what other way is there? He then teleports right to the top of a building and lands as he breathes in. His voice would then reverberate and soon reach Nanami, Ino, and Megumi. What did he just say? Asked Nanami. What the hell is Nanami? Thought Ino. As he releases his cursed energy in a burst, Nanami aims to get the attention of Yuji, who he knows will be able to sense him. And he does, and with then body flicker leaping from building to building until he makes his way down a street and turns a corner to see Ino asking, why are you doing that, Nanami-senpai? Nanamin! As they turn, the group will then see Yuji running over. Yuji's a great sensor, Megumi said. It's the best way to draw him out. Oh, so he was calling Nanami-senpai. You're focusing on the wrong thing here. Yuji, explain. He would then take off his earpiece and hold it forward, and for a moment, they're confused. But then he speaks. This is Kokichi Muta. You might know me as Mekamaru from Kyoto. This is definitely quite the surprise, but Mekamaru then explains everything, and one thing is definitive. So Gojo really was sealed, said Megumi. Yuji, yeah? I'm gonna need you to go find the source of the veil covering Shibuya Station. Take care of it. I'll leave these two in your hands. I need to go find Ijichi. Alright, but you guys run for the veil. I'll catch up and handle the veil canceling at the same time. Are you sure? Asked Nanami. With a smile, Yuji would then nod, saying that he already knows where the nails for the veil is. He then turns and looks to Shibuya Tower. But that doesn't make sense, said Ino. It does. To strengthen the barrier, they stayed out of it and went to the place that stands out the most, said Yuji. You can do that? Yeah, the barriers that were erected around were from those nails. It was the same thing back at school when they attacked us. Yuji then says, anyway, you guys go. By the time you get there, I'll have taken care of it. Alright? Alright then, said Nanami. As he walks past him, Nanami would then give him a high five, saying, let's go. Instantly, with a burst of speed, they all start to run off. Yuji would then squat and jump, turning to a blur, going from wall to wall until he leaps from the alley. While he's in the air, he then weaves signs and steps, releasing gusts of wind from his feet that propel him forward as fast as the wind itself. Watching him from afar, Ino would then mention that he seems stronger than grade 1. Don't think about it for now, just run, shouts Megumi. By this point, Yuji slams to the side of Shibuya Tower and begins to run to the roof parallel to the walls, when he soon sees an old man stick his head out. Damn, someone already figured it out. Saying this with quite a lot of happiness, Awasaka is obviously very excited to begin this fight, but Yuji, as he kicks up the side and begins to rise into the air, sees Ogami be grabbed by her grandson, who then skids back, but he doesn't even have time to put her behind him. And in that instant, Yuji makes another hand sign and they all pass out. They tumble to the floor as Yuji then flies past them to the other side and begins to free fall, and in his hands he now holds 3 nails he grabbed and then he crushes them. And at that moment, Nanami and his team reach the veil and it begins to fade. Damn, Great Ones really are different, shouts Ino. They then forge on and run in and also obviously take different paths, and the time has begun for them to save Satoru Gojo. Yuji eventually gets back to the ground and runs to Shibuya as well. Megumi and Ino enter first before Yuji obviously, and Nanami stumbles upon a scene that he will never unsee. Why aren't there more transfigured humans, asked Megumi as he and Ino ran down a staircase. Ino responds, it's possible they were moved to lower levels, where Satoru was. They must have used it to ambush him. Just then, they jump over some turnstiles and run down another case when they find waiting for them a pale man with a mark across his nose. You, where's Yuji Uchiha? Instantly putting on his mask, Ino asks, what's it to you? In response to this, Choso converges the blood that he creates from his cursed energy into multiple points that he fires off, and the two barely dodge and run around. Ino then fires off his right cheek, and Choso runs at it, bashing and crushing it with a punch, much to the sorcerer's surprise. He's then blitzed and struck, but enveloped his body with water in time, and this slides off Choso's punch, just when he senses something more powerful. Kon, with some intense curiosity, lunges and nearly claws his face off as he backs up and darts back, firing a piercing blood attack. I don't know why I lagged on that. And Kon predicts its motion, swings, but it curves around and strikes it in the back of the head, turning it to mush. No! Where? Where is Yuji Uchiha? I'm right here. They all look back and see Yuji making his way down, catching his breath, and active would be his Mangekyo Sharingan. Let's have that talk. Guys, go. With a nod, Ino that takes off his mask and runs, grabbing Megumi, who shouts, if you dot, I know. Trust me. I got this. Blitzing Yuji in that instance, the death painting mixes all of his hatred and his unrelenting power and all of that pent-up aggression into an assault. And yet Yuji purposely dodges each and every punch by a hair's breadth. Everything looks so slow. I can see every move he's making, every move he's about to make. From below, he sways back and thinks. From behind, he weaves to the right and avoids a curving blood blast, and it was about to accelerate, but it only splattered to the floor, and he realized the weakness of the technique right away from that instance. Stop dodging everything! He fires another piercing blood attack, and Yuji dodges while jumping back and continuing to do so as he goes up the steps behind and is then promptly chased by Choso. But this time, he finally punches and actually lands a kick, but it does nothing, and then Yuji kicks him in the stomach. That mere kick, though he held back, made him hurl blood onto the floor as he was left with ringing in his ears. What did you? Sorry, I really was trying not to hurt you. He wasn't being serious, thought Choso. He then realized that Yuji must have let him punch him just to test his own durability. But he thought again, no matter. He forces himself to stand back up as the mark across his face blisters spreads. As he dopes himself, he blitzes Yuji, who still dodges with ease, but notices he has definitely grown in power. But it's still not enough. In a blink, Choso is then sent flying as he crashes into a wall. Yuji shakes his hand. No numbness, no pain. Why are you mad at me? He pushes aside the rubble that had fallen onto him, and he stands, almost falling over. The older brother barely manages to hang on as he says, I'm a brother of 9. You killed 2. I'm sorry, but they would have killed my friends too. I don't feel any remorse. Because if it was the other way around, Fushiguro would be chasing after you. Yes, this isn't a battle, you're right. This is war. I will avenge them. Not today. As his eyes flash the Mangekyo, Choso falls forward out cold as Yuji walks to him and kneels down. I'll heal you. I don't know what you'll do, but I know you'll only come after me, not my friends. But if you do, I'll let you die next time. Choso, now healed, is simply out cold and Yuji turns. He then begins to run, but to conserve his body flicker, he doesn't use it at all and relies on his base physical strength, which is pretty crazy right now. As for Nanami, things went a little bit better. Each person attacked by Haruta actually waited until he was gone, right? Before they forced themselves to eat the pills that were distributed to all of them, which healed them, like, perfectly. A few were pissed enough to attack and kill him in rage, leaving his body thrown out somewhere in Shibuya. The most horrid death I can think for Haruta is that, and fuck him, he deserves way more than that. Now, we're gonna go to Kugisaki, Nita, and our boy Nanami. For the battles ahead, we need strength of my caliber to continue Nobara. You will stay here with Nita. But I was totally manhandling that guy. Yes, I mean, he is cowardly, self-obsessed, but he's not really strong, said Nanami. Well, I was dying to test out my seal. Yuji made it for me. I didn't know how to use it until that guy pissed me off. What exactly happened here? asked Nanami as he noticed this diamond dot on her head. Stop it! On the ground, her brain wobbled. Kugisaki feels hopeless while Haruta tortures her friend right before her. Make me, why don't you? He stabs into her thigh and does so again and again and again. She writhes in pain until Kugisaki begins to stand. Oh, you got over that quick. I told you to knock it off! Her cursed energy begins to radiate and give off a deadly feeling. Haruta, however, was left ecstatic as he was like a child playing around. He runs forward and strikes, but his attack is stopped. Huh? Slowly he looks up, and what he finds leaves him screaming as he falls to the floor. Only he would react in such a way, because he is of course actually a massive coward, but most first grades would be wary of what Kugisaki just summoned. A Shinigami now floats behind her, wearing the very same sadistic smile that she showed to the death paintings. In that instant of rage, helplessness, Kugisaki's brain is struck by information as a Shinigami Shikigami. That is really weird to say. Shinigami Shikigami. The Shinigami Shikigami divulges her new use of her curse technique. Kugisaki's base powers will not change, by the way. I'm not giving her the ability to kill people easier, but to simply have more variety. Her base cursed energy and physical energy will not change that much. But the Shikigami is basically an extension of her technique. It only develops it a little bit. The straw doll technique strikes the soul and incapacitates or kills her targets, but from now on, she will no longer need too much stuff to do that because she will become the doll itself. In exchange for her now being the puppet, Kugisaki will not feel pain much like the doll because she has tied her soul to it and has taken on its qualities. She also won't bleed, but she will need healing or she will die. The time limit to get some healing is about an hour, so she'll be fine. She also has pills on the side, but she must have her doll with her at all times for this to work. When an enemy leaves any DNA on her, especially blood, she uses this as a medium now to hurt them by striking herself with nails or letting them hit her. This is when the Shikigami comes in. So its role is to act as the one that keeps her opponent's souls tethered to hers. The longer they fight, the more their soul is exposed to Kugisaki, and when they hurt her or she hurts them, they will get more and more destroyed. Just then, Kugisaki grabs and rips at Haruta's hair as he screams while jumping back in complete fear, dropping his blade, and he would then spew blood from his mouth all of a sudden. Having tied his hair around her hand, Kugisaki then used that hand to strike her hammer into her jaw. It's not fun, is it? How did you? Striking herself in the head just then, she makes Haruta's eyes roll into a socket as he writhes in unimaginable pain, and while he is, he's then grabbed by the leg, and the Shikigami, with the double strength of Kugisaki, by the way, enhances herself. Actually, I should explain that real quick. It has double strength of Kugisaki, and also add on if Kugisaki like reinforced herself with cursed energy. That's basically the strength of the Shikigami in general. It can go higher. It's not that impressive. It's not supposed to be, but it's still definitely devastating, and it's still enough to grab and throw this fucking annoying piece of shit through a few walls and through some glass before he crashes out onto the streets. There, while he's already in massive pain, is when all his past mistakes come back to haunt him as he's brutally murdered by all the agents who took turns stabbing him multiple times. Returning to present, we then see Nanami sigh as he asks Kugisaki, "Are you sure you can handle yourself?" Yeah, totally, seriously. Are you sure? Yes, I swear. As she stands abruptly, he will then say, "Follow me. Need to meet back up with the other managers. It won't be safe for any of you to be here." Yes, sir. Let's go. Right. Finally get to do something. The war by this point has been ongoing for a few hours. Yuji is the only outlying variable, and he uses all the time that he has to exterminate the transfigured humans until he stumbles upon a massive domain in the middle of nowhere in the station. It was currently 10 p.m. We are at Inokashira Line, Shibuya Station Avenue Gate. As the domain simply floats in the air, Yuji would observe and run around it when suddenly a hole begins to open up. Megumi? From inside, he begins to see the panicked Megumi and Nanami, and he would jump through, at which point his overwhelming aura catches Dagon off guard. Yuji! Sorry to interrupt. I'll take care of this curse. As he lands, Yuji sees before him Kugisaki, Maki, Nabito, and most importantly, Dagon. Megumi, stop hurting yourself. It's too late for that anyway. That was all my power. Really? Asked Kugisaki. Well, we should be fine. It's him after all. As he makes his way forward calmly, much to everyone's surprise, they see that he's standing on water and notice the gathering of cursed energy below his feet. Then he gets in the fighting stance. Bring it. As he clasps his hands together, the invisible swarm of fish Shikigami gather and attack Yuji in a horde. It's him, isn't it? The Uchiha. Moving forward, however, Yuji strikes with a chop, making one of the Shikigami visible with this hit. It is torn right in half down the middle while snarling before in a flash he moves, doing the same for each and every one, leaving his path with destructive black flashes adding up to 10. Impossible. In a row? Thought Nabito. Now that he is right before Dagon, Yuji sends the curse into a panic as his eyes flicker and for a moment change shape, and he punches, sending him flying despite him managing to block. His arms are also fractured in the process as he winces in pain before then gathering water to his finger and firing it, compressing it as far as he can, and the pressure is not strong enough to cut through iron. But that's when it happens. A burst of this blood-red cursed energy from Yuji turns to flames, surrounding the boy with a ribcage that easily tanks the blow of the sea creature as if it was a mere fly. What? Thought Dagon. Will Yuji escape his curse? Can he save Gojo before Kenjaku escapes? Find out in the next part of the Jujutsu Kaisen. See y'all later. Peace. Gone.